Daughters of the Dust, written by B. A. Carroll. Episode 2, 19 minutes. Stopping momentarily in the wall-length loading bay opening, Aurora takes in the familiar sight. The old storage building behind Sully's former junk shop is still a chaotic mess of scrap and spare parts, a tiny island of the past in a sea of corporate sterility. The air smells of ozone and rusted metal. Standing just inside the wide, open roll-up door, Sully, 70s, looking smaller and more worn than she remembers, is trying to repair an evaporator unit. He mutters to himself, tapping a component with a spanner.
"Come on, you rusted piece of... Give me one good cycle."
Aurora walks inside, a big smile spreading across her face.
I'm looking for a cascade coil for a GX7. The old models. The ones that always overheat.
Sully freezes. The spanner clatters to the dusty floor. He slowly turns, his weary eyes squinting, then widening in disbelief. He takes a hesitant step forward, as if approaching a phantom.
By the twin suns, that voice. He squints. "Aurora? Child, we mourned you. We held the silent rite."
He reaches out a trembling, grease-stained hand, not quite touching her face. Aurora remains still, letting him see she is real.
As you can now see, the rite was premature.
Aurora steps closer, giving the old man a hug, the first they'd ever shared. Surprised at first, he wraps his arms around her in return.
I need to find Athena and Alara, the daughters.
Sully's relief evaporates, replaced by a deep-seated caution. He glances nervously toward the alley entrance before lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper.
"The daughters went deep into the canyons after you were taken, vanished into the silent canyons. Elara said the world had grown too loud, too sharp. As for the girl, she's not the little mouse you remember, the one who'd hide behind your legs."
He gestures vaguely toward the gleaming corporate city beyond the shack.
"Karen Dax rolled in here 4 years ago, promised stability, freshwater jobs. Instead, they brought ration cards and curfews. They own the air we breathe now. Athena, she didn't bow. She fought back."
At least I know she's alive. Where is she? I must find her to make sure she remains that way.
"Don't know exactly. No one does. She leads a resistance cell, a pack of angry kids with stolen blasters. They hit Karen Dax convoys, disappearing like smoke in a sandstorm. They call her the Ghost of Kushata."
Sully leans closer, lowering his voice, as he glances behind her, out the open side of his shed.
"They operate out of the old strip mine tunnels in the western mesa. But be careful, Aurora. She carries 6 years of anger. Most of that is pointed at the past, at the empty space you left behind."
It's long past dusk as Aurora enters her 5th mining tunnel entrance. The air is cool and smells of damp earth and rust. Aurora moves through the oppressive darkness, her boots making no sound on the packed dirt. A drop of water echoes somewhere in the black. Suddenly, the tunnel is flooded with the harsh, buzzing light of plasma torches. Figures emerge from alcoves in the rock, surrounding her. They are young, desperate, and heavily armed with stolen Karen Dax gear, their faces smeared with grime.
"Hold it, right there. Drop your weapon."
A second figure steps forward, silhouetted by the light. The leader. She raises her torch. The face it illuminates is fiercely beautiful, etched with a defiant anger that can't quite hide the pain underneath. It is Athena, 18.
State your business. You're a long way from the corporate zone. Your kind isn't welcome here.
Aurora slowly, deliberately, reaches up and lowers her hood. Athena's breath hitches. Her fierce expression falters. For a single, unguarded moment, she looks like the 12-year-old girl who lost everything. Then a mask of ice slams down, harder and colder than before. Her eyes flick to the worn leather of Aurora's gear, the cut of her clothes.
You're 6 years late,
A bitter laugh escapes her lips.
and you smell like them, like the void scum that took you. That ship you landed, scarred hull, patched up ion drives, in Marauder sigil colors.
Aurora's voice comes out quiet, strained.
Athena,
Don't. Don't you dare say my name.
Athena turns to her rebels.
She's no one. She's lost. Get out of my sight.
The rebels, catching her fury, raise their weapons higher. Aurora stands her ground, but her shoulders slump under the weight of her sister's hatred. Later, in a deeper section of the mining tunnel, in the rebels' command cave, Athena stands before a holographic map displaying a Charon Dax convoy route. Her small band of rebels listens intently, their faces illuminated in the blue glow. Aurora stands at the edge of the group, an unwelcome shadow.
The convoy carries advanced medical supplies, nanoweaves, Bactigel, things they deny the locals. We hid it here at the narrow pass, fast and hard, a pincer from both sides. We'll have the element of surprise.
it's a kill box.
All eyes turn to Aurora. Athena's jaw tightens.
We're not asking for the opinion of a marauder's pet.
Ignoring the insult, she steps forward, pointing at the map.
They know this is a choke point. They'll have snipers on this southern ridge. It gives them a perfect line of sight into the entire pass. They'll let you get in deep, then an armored car in the rear will plug the exit. You'll be caught in a crossfire. You have to disable the lead vehicle before it enters the pass, creating a bottleneck you control.
A young man, Kale, 20, Athena's second-in-command, glares at Aurora.
We trust Athena. She's never led us wrong, Athena.
Her eyes lock with Aurora's, full of defiance.
We stick to my plan. We have courage. We have the will. That's more than enough.
A few hours after sunrise, in a canyon pass. The ambush is a disaster. Athena's rebels spring their trap, only to be met by a hail of plasma bolts from the ridges, just as Aurora predicted. Rebel number 1 reports.
Snipers, on the ridge.
Rebel number 2 responds back.
We're pinned down.
A bolt sears the rock next to Athena. Her second-in-command, Kale, screams as a shot tears through his leg. He collapses, writhing. For a split second, Athena is frozen by indecision, seeing her people, her family, about to be cut down. She sees Kale, and her confident plan crumbles into horrified reality. Without a word, Aurora breaks cover. She moves with the lethal, unnatural speed of her medically enhanced muscles and tendons, a blur of gray and brown scaling the sheer rock face. She is not a brawler. She is an artist of violence. 2 thrown knives spin through the air, finding their marks in the throats of the first sniper team. She snatches up their pulse rifle, her movements economical and brutally efficient. Crack, crack. 2 more snipers on the opposite ridge fall. She adjusts her aim, fires a volley of perfectly placed shots into the lead convoy truck's engine compartment. It erupts in a ball of fire and shrapnel, blocking the pass completely. In the ensuing chaos, Aurora rappels down the cliff face. She lands beside the screaming Kale, dragging him behind a rock. Kale shouts out in pain as he's hit.
Gods, my leg. I can't feel it.
Staying within cover, Aurora rushes to him. Her voice is calm, devoid of panic.
Stay with me. Breathe. It's not as bad as it feels.
She rips a strip of cloth and applies a tourniquet with practiced, detached ease. The remaining Charon Dax forces, their formation broken and their leadership eliminated, retreats. The fight taken out of them and unable to follow the rebels return to base. The mining tunnel Med Bay is full. Kyle is stable, sleeping under the effects of a mild sedative. The other rebels look at Aurora with a mixture of awe and fear. They give her a wide berth. She stands alone, cleaning blood from her knives. Athena enters, her face a storm of conflicting emotions. Shame, gratitude, and a deeper, more profound anger. The silence is heavy.
You saved him. You saved us.
She doesn't look up from her knife.
Your plan would have killed him and the others.
Athena flinches as if struck. Her voice trembles with a fresh wave of fury.
My plan? At least I have a plan. At least I'm here, fighting for our home, for what they took. Where have you been, Aurora? Learning new tricks?
She takes a step closer, her voice dropping to a raw, pained whisper.
Look at you. The way you moved out there, the way you killed. There was no hesitation, no anger, just process, cold, empty. They didn't just take you, did they? They broke you. They hollowed you out and filled you with their poison.
Aurora finally looks at her, her own eyes filled with a deep, weary pain.
I did what I had to do to survive. I did it all to get back to you.
Athena is pained and unable to deal with her emotions. A tear of pure rage traces a path through the grime on her cheek.
Get back to me? This thing that you are isn't my sister. My sister died in an alley 6 years ago. They just sent her ghost back. A pirate, a killer. I don't know what you are.
Athena turns and leaves Aurora standing alone, the silence of the cave more damning than any accusation. Aurora looks down at her own hands, suddenly seeing them as Athena does. Not as her own, but as the weapons of a monster. Leaving Athena and the rebels, Aurora seeks the daters hidden within the silent canyons. Following a coded map from Scully, Aurora travels deep into a region of dust where the vortex currents never reach. The air is still, the silence profound. She finds a hidden entrance, veiled by a curtain of cascading sand, searching the endless maze until finding the daughter's sanctuary. The cavern is stunning. A vast geode, its walls lined with massive, softly glowing crystals. Lush hydroponic gardens grow in terraces. This is the home of the daughters. Women, young and old, move with a quiet, deadly grace. They stop their work, sharpening blades, tending to plants, meditating, and stare as Aurora enters, her weathered gear a stark contrast to their simple, elegant robes. The silence is heavy, filled with judgment and memory. Matriarch Ilara steps forward. Her face is lined with wisdom and sorrow. She studies Aurora not as a threat, but as a painful, unresolved memory.
Aurora, the dust itself whispers your name, and we wondered if it was just the wind. The prodigal returns.
Aurora, her voice rough, unused to this dry planet anymore.
Ilara, this is the only home I have left to return to.
Ilara takes a step closer. She doesn't embrace Aurora, but her gaze is intensely personal, searching.
You wear the years heavily, but it's more than that.
The matriarch leans in as if smelling a scent.
You carry the tang of the void on you, the mark of blood spilled for coin, not conviction. Violence without purpose. That is not our way.
My purpose was survival.
Survival is a state of being. It is not a creed. To be one of us again, to be truly welcomed back into this sanctuary, you must be cleansed. The past must be faced, not outrun.
Aurora's jaw tightens. She glances around at the faces watching her, a mix of pity suspicion, and a few younger ones filled with awe.
I don't have time for rituals, Alara. Athena is leading a rebellion against Karen Dax. She's in danger. That's why I'm here.
Ilara with a sad, firm smile.
And how can you hope to save your sister when you have yet to save yourself? You cannot offer her a steady hand if yours still shakes with the ghosts of what you've done. You will walk the whispering chasm. You will face what you brought back with you. It is the only way.
Aurora looks from Ilara's unyielding face to the path leading deeper into the sanctuary. She knows this is a command, not a request. She gives a short, sharp nod. That night, deep within the whispering chasm, Aurora stands at the edge of a deep, narrow canyon. The vortex dips low here, its atmospheric currents creating strange, echoing acoustics that sound like human whispers. As she descends the winding stone path, the whispers begin to form words. She hears the voice of the Emperor's imperial advisor, sibilant, cloying.
My little shadow, such a perfect instrument. That senator never even saw the blade. A clean kill. You brought honor to my name.
She hears the voice of Kalen, a low, gravelly murmur laced with desire and disappointment.
You have the strength, Rory. The fire. Don't waste it on lost causes and dusty relics. There's an empire for the taking out here. You chose a memory over a throne. You chose weakness.
She flinches, pressing on. The most painful voice comes next, high and thin, echoing with the desperation of a child. She hears the voice of her younger sister, Athena.
Aurora? Aurora, where are you? The raiders. They're here. You promised you wouldn't leave. You promised.
A Malsa Shari glides silently overhead, its colossal shadow blanketing the chasm. The psychic pressure intensifies the whispers. Aurora clutches her head, stumbling to her knees. The voices are a cacophony of failure, temptation, and guilt. She draws her knife, its edge gleaming in the faint starlight, ready to lash out at the phantoms. Her knuckles are white, her breath is ragged. But then she remembers Ilara's words. Face them. This isn't a fight of steel. She forces her hand to uncurl, lowering the blade. The metal clatters softly on the rock. She doesn't squeeze her eyes shut. She opens them, staring into the oppressive darkness of the canyon. Aurora, to the empty canyon, her voice shaking but clear.
I was his weapon to survive.
Taking a long breath. But I was your weapons master first. Aurora's, her voice cracks. And I was your only sister. I failed you. She looks up, as if at the Malsa Shari's shadow, but speaking the truth only to herself. You are all a part of me. The shame, the regret, the rage. But you don't own me. Not anymore. As of now, I free myself from the past and move on. As dawn breaks, Aurora emerges from the chasm, weary but whole. The psychic storm in her mind has quieted to a low hum. Ilara is waiting, holding a simple cup of water. She offers it. There are no words. She simply nods, a glimmer of pride in her ancient eyes. End of episode 2. Thank you for listening, and please continue supporting the Sci-Fi Taco podcast, where the internet's best science fiction comes to life.